Anyways, next question. If you could make your own analog horror story, what will it be and why? I would want to do a Godzilla analog horror, but at the same time, I kind of want to do a dinosaur. But I would say the number one analog horror story that I would love to do is a dragon analog horror. Because I think that there's not many dragon analog horror stories. Like, there are some dinosaur analog horrors and some Godzilla analog horror stories, but not a whole lot of dragon analog horror. So, if I were to do my own analog horror story, it would definitely be a dragon. I decided to leave one more question because this is something that got me curious. But what got you to decide to do a story about the Godzilla, dragon, and dinosaur, and, versions of yourself? Okay, if I'm being completely honest with you, I have no idea. Originally, I guess I just thought about doing movies about Mechagodzilla and my Dragon OC and my Dinosaur OC, but I guess the more I made them, the more I realized that they didn't really sound like movies that came from the Megaverse or, the universe that my Dragon OC and my Dinosaur OC come from. And this sounded more like a story that resembles a Super Final Wars story. So if anything, I decided to change it into Super Final Wars movies. So, yeah. If you could do your own fairy tale, series or movie, what will it be? And will it be about something with the characters with the snow? Or something different? I would want to do a prequel movie of Orr, and I'm going to say this. Out of all the, parents or masters of the main characters, Orr's the number one character that I would want to do, and it's not because, she's my waifu, but it's also because she has a more interesting story than the other masters and parents. Because we only know very little about Orr, whereas the other masters or parents, we know basically everything about them except for Orr. We don't know a whole lot about her. We don't know where she came from. We don't know what got her obsessed with magic, or who her husband was, or why he left her, and, So I would do a prequel movie of Orr. So, yeah. Next question. If you were in charge of the Monsterverse, what would be the first thing that you will do? Obviously, the first thing that I would do is put an end to the whole retcon thing. Because seriously, folks, at this point, the retcons are going to be the result of the Monsterverse's downfall. Because apparently, Legendary Studios can't stop retconning the damn Monsterverse. So, yeah. If there was any characters in the Transformer universe that you ship with, I'm pretty sure you're probably asking, who do I ship who with? I'm not familiar with all the characters' names, but I'm familiar with a few. I ship Optimus Prime and Elita 1, Megatron and Arachnid, and there was this one character who was with Bumblebee a whole lot. She turned into a plant. I forgot her name, but she is also a character. But I ship her with Bumblebee. Last question. How is the community post going for you? So far so good. So far, so good. If you could change anything in Mufasa the Lion King, what would it be and why? I would change the whole damn movie. I'm not going to go into details, but I would change the whole damn movie. Are you going to make your own Jurassic World OCs, considering that Nemesis Indoraptor is kind of a Jurassic World OC, but not 100%? No, he's not really a Jurassic World OC if I really think about it. Because the more I think about it, the more I realize he doesn't really fit well in the world of, Jurassic Park. If anything, he doesn't fit in that world. If anything, he fits more in a world that makes sense. A world that can actually handle him. Because if I put him in the Jurassic World universe, he's gonna basically one-tap that universe and boom. But to answer your question, yes, I'm going to make my own Jurassic World OCs, and don't worry, they're not going to be super powerful like Nemesis Indoraptor. They'll be strong and pretty powerful, yes, but not Nemesis Indoraptor powerful. So, yeah. Which How to Train Your Dragon characters annoy you the most? Easily Snotlout and the Twins. Easily Snotlout and the Twins. I hate them. They're annoying in the movies and in the TV shows. Yes, they do have a few good moments where they actually shown to be pretty smart characters in the TV show, but they are so annoying and stupid, and I just flat out question Hiccup's decision of having those two to be dragon riders. Wouldn't it make more sense if he had Heather and Dagger to be part of his group of dragon riders? Jesus Christ, they'll be very good additions to the group. What would happen if Land Before Time got a reboot? That depends on how they do the reboot. It depends on how they do it. If they do it well and do it right, then I might be okay with a reboot. I don't care if they do scientifically accurate dinosaurs or fictional dinosaurs. As long as they make a good reboot, then I'll be okay with that reboot. But just don't use the old sound effects from the old movies. If anything, you're going to show the audience that your dinosaurs are not truly terrifying. Just make your own sound effects, okay? Just don't use the same old sound effects. What's it like living in Texas? It's good for the most part, but I would say the only thing I get annoyed about it is the extreme hot heat and the lack of snow. But besides that, it's pretty good down here in Texas. Which season of Camp Cretaceous will you rank as the best and the worst? I would say the season that I will rank as the best season, I would say it has to be season 3. I would say season 3 because it felt more like a horror story rather than, an actual survival story. It actually felt like an actual horror story, and it's all thanks to the Scorpius Rex. And the season that I will rank as the worst, it is, without a doubt, season 5 of Camp Cretaceous. And it's mostly because of the whole new thing about the whole controlling dinosaurs and, making them fight each other. And I honestly would have liked season 5 a bit better if they just did not include that. And have the dinosaurs, actually fight each other on their own terms instead of being controlled. That and the pointless character arcs, pointless character developments, and completely forgettable redemption arc. Seriously. I wish that Kenji remained a villain. But, whatever, let's just continue. What kind of hybrid dinosaurs would you have liked to see in in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, maybe in Camp Cretaceous. The hybrid dinosaurs that I would like to see, I would have liked to see the Spinoraptors appear in Camp Cretaceous. And for Fallen Kingdom, and maybe another hybrid dinosaur. I forgot the name of it, but it was like a hybrid between a Allosaurus and a Mosasaurus. And for Fallen Kingdom, I would have liked to see maybe a hybrid between maybe a Carnoraptor. I would have liked to see a Carnoraptor too. So, have you seen the show called Invincible? If you have, what do you think about it? I think it's a pretty good series so far. I think it's a pretty good series. It's not a series that I would want to be a fan of, but I think it's a pretty good series. If anything, if I get too bored of watching the same old stuff that I'm used to watching, like Godzilla, Transformers, dinosaurs, dragons, then I'll just watch Invincible just for the hell of it. I think it's a pretty good show, honestly. And I've seen season 1, 2, and 3, so you don't have to worry about spoiling anything. But for those who haven't seen the show, then don't spoil it, okay? Just for the sake of those who have not seen the series. And like I said before, I'm not a fan of it. It's just a show that I would normally watch if I get bored of watching the same old stuff that I'm used to watching. Sorry about that, I just had to get a drink. Out of all the Attack on Titan characters, which one annoyed you the most? Easily Armin. And the reason why is because he's just so annoying when he wants to be. Like, for example, he's constantly obsessed on negotiating with enemies. He's just so hell-bent on it. Even though at this point he should, get used to the fact that the enemies don't want to negotiate and they just want to wipe them all out. Hell, in Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 3, when he and Eren are having that final talk, he was just like, the massacre hasn't even happened yet, so just stop it! At this point, he should realize that Eren, despite having the ability to see into the future, he can't change the future. It's been decided. At this point, Armin should realize that Eren is powerless against the future. If Eren truly had the ability to change the future, he would have changed it into more understandable and more likable terms. So that way he wouldn't have to result on using the rumbling. So, yeah. Plus, I hate it for the show mainly focusing on him being the hero, not Eren. So, yeah. That's why Armin is the character that I get annoyed with pretty dang easily. So, yeah.